What can you tell from a label? We rely on product labelling and packaging to make judgments about all sorts of things like product quality and whether it's worth the money. Freedom of movement and the single market has made this even more important. If goods can move freely around the European Union, what guarantee do we have that products aren't fake? And with products like toys, how do we know they've been properly safety tested? Okay, how do you safeguard against consumers being exposed to fraudulent or dangerous products? I'm here with Christine Heemskirk from Trading Standards. Hi Christine, can you tell me, is there an EU legislation in place to do this then?
Yeah, absolutely. All goods, there tends to be directives to ensure their safety. For example, toys, there's something called the Toy Safety Directive. If you look at a toy in the shop, you'll see that a lot of them have something called a CE mark on them. Now that CE mark is a declaration by that manufacturer that that toy is safe and complies with that directive. The manufacturer puts it on, and then no one then at customs can query that it's actually okay, so it can then travel throughout the continent as it wishes basically, until it ends up in a shelf in Tesco's, for example.
Labelling on products is important to us as consumers. How else do you know what you're getting? Because of the huge range of products the single market has made available, a big concern for the European Parliament has been something called consumer protection. I'm here with Jill Pitt from the National Consumer Council. Jill, I'm hoping you can tell me more. What do you mean by the term consumer protection?
Well, consumers need to be protected to prevent them experiencing shoddy service or being ripped off.
Yeah.
They also need protection from misleading information that you quite often find on products like spreads or drinks or foods in the supermarket.
And can you give me an example of this?
Yes, most recently there's been a new food law passed by the European Parliament to protect consumers where nutritional health claims are made on foods. If you take this probiotic yoghurt drink, for example, there's an implied health claim there. It helps to ensure a healthy digestive system. In the future, if this product wants to make that claim, it has to have the evidence to back it up, and it has to be vetted by the European Food Safety Authority to ensure that it is actually doing what it says on the bottle.
Product labelling is something that can have a real effect on what people buy. It can even be used to persuade people not to buy something. The European Parliament has taken steps in ensuring that people who buy cigarettes know exactly what effect they're having on their health. Amanda's here from ASH, a public health charity that aims to stop harm caused by tobacco. Amanda, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, John.
What have you got to show us then?
Well, what I've got to show you today, John, is some examples of cigarette packets,
Right.
and particularly the health warnings on cigarette packets, and to show how they've changed over time.
Okay.
Now, if you have a look at that, can you even see the health warning?
It's not very clear.
It's not very
now.
clear,
Yeah.
is it at all? No. Under European Union law, these warnings had to change and were enlarged. And in 2003, we had health warnings like that.
Big difference.
The research suggests that the written health warnings do work. They do make people more aware of the dangers of smoking. But over time, people sort of get used to what's on the pack, the message is less strong. And other countries now have introduced picture warnings on the packs to make the message even stronger. And this is what they currently have in Canada. The European Union is now approaching this. They're deciding to introduce warnings very similar to this on all the European packs as well.
The single market has meant more products on the shelves and in many cases cheaper prices. But while we've definitely got more choice, we'll have to keep an eye out to make sure when we buy goods and services we know exactly what we're getting. And that's up to us.